Very well. Member for Runyenjes, Honorable Eric.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this very progressive bill. And Honorable Speaker, may I state that I represent a constituency where tea is grown in very large numbers. And for the avoidance of doubt, I am the Member of Parliament who represents people who sell their tea in the Mukurinu tea factory, which was the best factory in the entire country in terms of the amount of money that it paid the farmers. So as the Honorable Vice Chair is complaining that some people got better and others didn't get as much, we are the people who got relatively more than them. And I wish to thank him for this bill, because this bill is going to help our farmers get more returns from it. Honorable Speaker, the bill speaks to the issue of direct sales for tea by allowing licensed factories to engage in direct sales. And most importantly, Madam Speaker, is that the bill proposes a sales settlement system so that after tea is sold at the auction and it is paid within 14 days. And Madam Speaker, I don't see the reason why tea is bought in January and farmers have to wait for the money until around 10 to 12 months so that they can be paying the same money that they earned many months ago as bonus. So I am a tea farmer myself, and I represent a constituency that has coffee farmers and tea farmers. Already the coffee farmers are benefiting from the direct sales settlement system, because once coffee is bought at the auction, it is paid within 14 days. For instance, the coffee that was sold, Madam Speaker, the coffee that was sold between April and July has already been settled and paid. So I am believing that should our tea be sold and payment settled within 14 days, then factories and directors have a responsibility now to pay the farmers their money in good time, because farmers have bills to pay, farmers have kids to educate, and the more they keep the money, the more they get opportunities to have their money squandered by the managers and the directors who perhaps are wrong. So, Madam Speaker, I believe that this law is very progressive. It also provides for the exemption from tax for the factories that are going to do value addition. And nowadays we have seen so many factories, including Mungania and the Mukurinu tea factories that are in my constituency, are already doing value addition. So exempting these factories, or rather these factories from payment of tax for products that are value added, means more income to the farmer. And the reason as to why our people are engaged in farming is so that they can get more income from the activities that they do. Honorable Speaker, earlier today I rose here to ask for a statement regarding the delayed payment for milk farmers. And you see, Honorable Speaker, the same people that are doing tea farming are the same people who are doing coffee farming, are the same people who are doing dairy farming. And the common issue that we must address as a government and as leaders is the issue of settlement of dues owed to farmers timely. Because how do you explain, Honorable Speaker, a situation whereby a farmer has to deliver their product, let's say milk, and 4 months down the line has not been paid, yet they have household bills to pay and such. So this tea bill, Honorable Speaker, through its direct sales system, settlement system, will help farmers get their money in time so that they can attend to their other responsibilities that they have. And I believe since it has worked in the coffee sector, even in the tea sector, it is going to work. I have seen, Honorable Speaker, in my constituency, we now have more people planting coffee. And the reason is they are now getting better income from coffee. And I believe now the tea farmers will get help from this progressive bill. So, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Owen Bayer.
Honorable Speaker, just like the Honorable Makali Mulu, I want to put a disclaimer that we don't grow tea where I come from. But Honorable Speaker, tea, when we were in school, we were told tea is one of those high foreign exchange earners, you know, tourism, tea, coffee, you know, high foreign exchange earners. And we, as a country, we benefited. And you remember there was a time in this country where there are two words that were very important, the coffee boom and the tea boom, you know. And that time, the economy of this country was actually booming because of what was happening in the agriculture sector. That time, there was a lot of very good farm inputs, and farmers were encouraged. And actually, Honorable Speaker, to tell you from the bottom of my heart, this country grew from tea and coffee. You know, that is where it sprang from independence. And you know, tea became one household commodity. Every family had tea in the morning, the British way, including Dr. Yikal's family, and including the Honorable from Suba. You know, tea. I know he takes tea up to today. You don't take tea, you take coffee. Yes, but a lot of families in this country, Honorable Speaker, up to today, they do tea in the morning because tea was such a fundamental drink. It was part of the Kenyan staple food, if I may put it that way, Honorable Speaker. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, economies and families actually got an opportunity to be who they are. They were able to take their children to school. They were able to build nice houses. They were able to grow wealth, Honorable Speaker. They are actually, Honorable Speaker, in the history of this country, people whose wealth, and they became very wealthy, only came from tea, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, that's the time when agriculture sector, investment in agriculture sector were almost limitless. There's a lot of investment in the agricultural sector. But today, Honorable Speaker, the agriculture sector is taking a back seat. And yet we are still a very agrarian economy. We understand it. We are still a very agrarian economy. And yet we are not investing in what is a fundamental for us, Honorable Speaker. The economist, Makali Mul, will support me, or if not, is this. Show me your budget and I show you your direction. There is a maxim like that in economics. Show me your budget and I show you your direction. If you do not invest in a certain area, you cannot grow in that area. And you do not just wish you will grow. You have to invest for you to grow. Honorable Speaker, the investments that have been going into the agriculture sector, I think, are very minimal. And that's why tea farmers are suffering more than any other sector, Honorable Speaker. And because we have stopped investing in the economy, the agricultural economy, Honorable Speaker, this country's economy has stagnated. Because for us to talk about manufacturing, you know, Honorable Speaker, and I want to speak this with confidence, for you to grow in manufacturing, you must invest heavily in agriculture so that you have the raw material for you to take it to the factory so that the factories can grow and those factories can employ more people and you can do value addition. That is correct economics, Honorable Speaker. But if you want to grow factories, but you're not investing in agriculture, Honorable Speaker, it cannot go that way. You will start having more of a superfluous factories that, Honorable Speaker, do not do much. For example, EPZ would have done better if we were stronger in cotton, Honorable Speaker. But cotton is no longer there. So what do? We import materials, we make clothes, and then export, Honorable Speaker. It doesn't help the economy. But if we were generating wealth from the land, And this is where tea is important. It is generating wealth from the land. And if you generate wealth from the land, Honorable Speaker, then you grow an economy upwards and of course, horizontally, Honorable Speaker. And everybody gets a pie, and therefore poverty does not. There are times when, Honorable Speaker, where Wakili Mureu comes from, I know they grow tea there. Yes, I have been there. And, you know, I campaigned for this guy when he was trying to be MP. Now he thinks he's cleverer than his campaigner. Listen to my words, my friend.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, but listen to my words, my friend. I will not come to campaign for you again. But I want to tell you this, and this is very important.
Owen, you address the speaker. You address the speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I want to tell Mrima, T, if he insists on his people to grow tea,
Member for Tetu,
and he ensures his...
What is out of order?
Madam Speaker, there's a good reason why Owen will not be able to campaign in Gatanga, because Gatanga is clear one term.
No, you ask Kilimure. I was there, he's my friend. I know almost all his 4 homes because I've been there campaigning for him and taking tea in his house. Yes, he is a wealthy man. God has blessed him and he's sharp. He's a brilliant man.
Honorable Owen, back to the debate.
Now, back to the debate. What I'm saying is, for the MP for Gatanga, this is very important. Tea is very important. For the wealth of his people, people should not be going to his office to ask for bursary if they can grow tea, Honorable Speaker. People should not go to Brighton Yirgon's home to ask for school fees, because tea should be able to give them fees, Honorable Speaker. But the issues that are there, and I think they are addressed in this bill, and this is an act of parliament to amend the Tea Act to provide for direct sales of tea. Honorable Speaker, if we do away with these middlemen that have bogged down the tea sector, Honorable Speaker, we will make the tea farmers richer, Honorable Speaker. The other thing that is also happening is also to amend the payment system, Honorable Speaker. The payment system, which is very important, the payment of tea proceeds. Honorable Donya, and he is not here, but in the earlier part of this sitting, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Donya raised the issue of tea bonuses. Tea bonuses. Why should we wait until December to pay tea bonuses? What are the people doing in between there, Honorable Speaker? We need to address the issue of payment systems, Honorable Speaker, and proceeds from tea and the price of tea, Honorable Speaker. But more important, Honorable Speaker, if we make deliberate investments in the agriculture sector, and this is the house that gives out money, why are we giving money in other areas and denying the tea sector money? And yet, if we invested in that area, there'll be growth, big growth that will touch everybody. Majority of the people in this country, Honorable Speaker, live in the tea growing areas, if I'm not wrong, Brighton. You know, if you look at the population, the way it is distributed, population distribution, you realize that the areas where tea is grown has higher population than other areas. Now, if you invest in areas, if you put your money in areas where there are higher population in that sector, Honorable Speaker, it will grow. And if it grows, everybody will have money in the pocket. And therefore, I want to thank the Honorable Brighton Yegon and his team, and the people from the tea growing areas. And I want to tell them, this is a battle you must take to the last drop, Honorable Speaker. The battle to liberate the tea sector, the battle to make tea what it was before, the battle to take the tea economy, I want to call it the tea economy, to another level, Honorable Speaker. We will make this country a more vibrant economy. We'll make this country have lesser poor people, and we'll put money in the pockets of people if we invest in the tea, Honorable Speaker. You know, the Honorable Mukunji is a good friend of mine. And one day, I was appointed as his mentor in this assembly, to mentor him. But when he left my hands, Honorable Speaker, I can assure him that he's going to drown very soon. But the teacher is still around. The teacher is still around. I can still tutor him. I can still take care of him, Honorable Speaker. He's a young man. And but I want to say this, finally, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. You know, the Honorable Kinjuri was once Minister for Agriculture. And I like the fact that he's here. because we can borrow a lot from his experience when he's minister there. And when he was minister there, I think he did something significant in the tea sector, Honorable Speaker. And his contribution is very significant to ensure that we uplift the issues of tea and other crops, Honorables. For example, you know, the leaders in my area watched the cashew nuts and coconut die. The factories were closed, and they watched there and clapped for Moi and clapped for everyone. They did nothing when the cashew nut sector was going down, and the coconut sector was going down, and the Bixa sector was going down, and the castor oil sector was going down. And they sat and watched and thought just being in government was enough. I want to tell the members here, it's not enough. Fight for your people. Fight for the...
Thank you. Member for Ruiru, Honorable Kingara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, rather, for giving me this opportunity to share on this very important amendment bill. And may I start by declaring that I'm a beneficiary of tea product, especially when those bonuses were there and were very fruitful, especially on matters education. But, Madam Speaker, I always pose a question, and I ask myself, when somebody is happy or when people are happy, they say, let's have a cup of tea. Then I ask this question behind my mind. Is the producer of tea happy as the consumer? I don't know whether one had ever asked him or herself that question. Because it is ironical, you'll be happy of something which is the maker of that something is not happy. I think it should reciprocate the same. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, I will not blame whoever came with the old laws which had been managing tea, because that was then. But, Madam Speaker, now we have come an age where everything is in real time. Those days, maybe people need a middle person, if I can use that word, terminology, to be able to reach to the next level. But, Madam Speaker, nowadays, you don't need that. If you want to have a meeting with somebody in Brazil, you just go real time and have a virtual meeting. Where do you then need somebody to do that for you? And you have a phone which can do that. Remember the other day, we just broadened the usage of computer in our country, especially whereby each and every ward should have an ICT hub. And I think that's what our young ones should be doing, rather than a middleman. You can sell your father or mother's tea through your computer. Why do you need somebody else? And yet you have gone to school and you have learned these things. So, Madam Speaker, this bill is very timely. We just need to be very positive on it. Maybe because I have just seen it, we might maybe having some amendment which will bolden the engineering of the committee who came with this very good and important amendment bill. Secondly, Madam Speaker, things work well when there is an incentive. I appreciate the government effort, especially when they came up with subsidized fertilizer, because that's an incentive on the production level. Madam Speaker, it can go forward and come up with maybe other incentives, especially when you have added value on the same tea. Then the system should accommodate you by maybe more moderning or even lightening some taxes which can be able to make you look positive and also, if I would say, competitive. Because, Madam Speaker, if we are not competitive, then we will not find our market stability when it comes to competition. Another thing I know, Madam Speaker, the land of Kenya, because of the maybe volcanic type of our soil, it produces very high quality of tea. So, Madam Speaker, what happens? People out there buy our tea, then use just a small quantity to blend their tea. What of if we pack our own tea with that quality? You can see how happy and energetic the farmer could be if that came our way. And it is our responsibility, Madam Speaker, since we have the floor here, to sit and come up with substantial amendment which will support our farmers out there and the community at large. I support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Member for Seme.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me opportunity. Although I do not come from a tea growing area, I do appreciate the economic importance and significance of tea in this country. Madam Speaker, as the